What's up, y'all? All right, today we're going to talk about hooks in Claude Code, but we're going to do it in a fun way. So I wanted to, when you give Claude Code commands, you spend a lot of time waiting, and I just thought it'd be fun to have it pop up a game. I honestly don't think this is like a real use case because it would be too annoying having it pop up all the time, but I figured it'd be fun to play around with. So we're going to practice learning a little bit about hooks and what those are, and then we're going to I've already built the game, but we're going to have Space Invaders come up when we're waiting for Claude to complete commands. So let's take a look at this. So what are hooks? Hooks are basically just events that you can trigger custom actions on, right? So when things happen in Claude Code, you submit a command, it's done making a tool call, it's done running. Each one of those will fire an event, and you can do custom things on top of that. So we'll go through what some examples of that would be, but scroll down here. So for example, you can send data to an HTTP post, right? So let's say you wanted to trigger like a GitHub action, right? So you would, hey, when you're done writing code, trigger a GitHub action, run unit tests, run integration tests, whatever it would be. Prompt hooks, you can give it a custom prompt. Hey, every time you're done with a task, I want you to tell me a joke, right? Obviously, these are ridiculous examples. I just want you to kind of get the gist of it. You can even have full-blown agents that spawn as part of a hook. So these are the lifecycle events. This is the interesting part. So everything here you can attach hook events to. So you've got session start, pre-tool use. So every time before it uses a tool, user prompt submit is interesting. Like let's say, again, this is a ridiculous example, but let's say you wanted to have every time I submit a prompt, I want to trigger a prompt that looks at what I'm asking for and reformats it in a better way to get better results from the large language model. So you could essentially run your prompts through a filter every time and have Claude feed you back what it would be a better prompt to get what you're looking for. Anytime Claude is done, anytime Claude sends you a notification. So an example of a hook that I have set up is whenever Claude is done running a task, it just makes a chime noise. That way, if I flipped over to another window, I can just flip back and get right back into. I basically don't waste time not knowing that it was done. So this is configuration. I'm not going to go over too much configuration. I typically just ask Claude to do this stuff. The thing that's important here is the matchers. So matchers are like a subcategory, right? So there's pre-tool use, and then within pre-tool use, there are commands that you can give. So this one's saying if the tool use is going to be editing or writing, then first I want you to run this shell file, right? So let me pull this up real quick too. I had Claude put together a diagram. So you send a prompt, Claude picks the tool, that's pre-tool use, that fires. The tool executes, that's post-tool use, so that fires. Claude gets the result, agent's done, so you stop. So, for example, these are example use cases for pre-tool use. Validate or block risky tool operations. So if you see a tool use coming, that is going to remove files, right? So it's going to remove an entire directory. You might have guardrails in place that says, hey, Claude is not allowed to remove entire directories just for safety. So it would see that and block it. Post-tool use, obviously once the tool is done, that's something where like once it's done writing code, you can have it immediately run a linter and lint the code. Notification, that's the type of thing I have where it chimes when it's done. For example, you could send something to Slack. And let's see. Stop is when the agent finishes its work. Auto validate, sub agent stop, same thing. So this is just kind of a quick overview of how hooks work. But the thing we're going to work on today should hopefully be fun. Let's see. So we're going to go to desktop, YouTube, and I think I have a, let's see. Yeah, so I have a Space Invaders hook folder. All right, so we're going to open up Claude, and again, I'm going to be using Whisperflow to talk to it, so you guys are going to have to listen to my commands. We built a Space Invaders game, and I think it's in this folder. And basically, it's a Python game with scripts to trigger it and pause it and resume it. I want you to evaluate the code in that game and then write a hook. I don't know which hook we need. It's whenever Claude is processing a command. So I don't know if that's tool use because it may not always be tool use. So I need your help. I need some feedback on that. But essentially, when Claude is processing, I want it to launch Space Invaders. And then when Claude is done, so on the stop hook, then I want to run. I want to trigger the pause for the game so I can come over and check the process of the code. All right, we're gonna run that, see what we get back for the first time. So this will probably take a minute and I'll probably be skipping ahead. All right, so we're back. This is done now. Let's see what we found. Oh, that's funny. It found bugs in the in the game code, which is funny because the game was written by Claude Code previously. So let's see. You type a prompt and hit enter. Okay, so on user submit prompt, it's going to fire and the game is going to launch. Hopefully. I'm going to play Space Invaders while Claude works, and when Claude finishes, it's going to pause the game. I can come back and check. When I type another prompt, the game's going to resume. So if this works, it's going to be really fun. We may have to go through a couple iterations here, fix some bugs, but that's the fun of this, is we'll do it live and we'll figure it out together. Let's see. Oh, I also did set, by the way, I set this hook to only run on this project for the reason I touched on it earlier, where I think it'd be pretty annoying to every time I run a command, Claude keeps trying to get me to play Space Invaders. This is more for just entertainment and just to demonstrate how hooks work. So let's see. I need to give it something it's going to think about for a minute. Let's see. Review the Space Invaders game for any other bugs. I don't know. We'll see what that does. So let's see if we get Space Invaders. Oh, I see that. Oh, no, that's it. Looking for the code. Oh, come on. Oh, you know what? I might have to restart Claude Code for the hook to apply. I'm not sure about that, but let's see. It doesn't look like it's launching. So I'm going to actually resume the conversation where I asked for that and say that it's not launching. The game isn't launching when I trigger a command. I don't know if it's, oh, it says launch or resume. Anyways, the game is not launching when I trigger a command, and I did restart Claude Code just to make sure the hook was applied. Can you troubleshoot this for me? So we'll let that take a look and see what we can see. Says it sees a few likely issues. Oh, I bet I know what happened. I moved the directory because right now it's saying that no file numpy is found. And so NumPy is a package that you can install with Python. It handles number functions. I honestly don't know the details about it. But originally when I built this, it was on my desktop and I moved it into another folder. So I bet I moved it out of the environment where that was installed. So that's my bad for moving it. It looks like Claude found that and is fixing it. Oh, there you go. So now the game will launch. Cool. But now we need to go back and see if it'll launch as part of the hook. Oh, look at that. Ah, that's so cool. So I see it pausing and unpausing. Oh, there we go. All right. So looks like Claude fixed it. At least got the game to run. I don't know if I'm going to have to restart Claude Code. Oh, yep, restart Claude Code. All right. So now we're going to go launch it again. We're going to have a review of the game just to keep it busy for a minute. And then hopefully that's going to launch our game. Let's see. Sick. So while Claude goes, I'm going to play a little Space Invaders. Oh, yeah. Complete with sounds and power-ups. So I got some power-ups coming. Whoop. That's a shield. Nice. That looks like a double shot. Oh, speed. Rapid fire. Nice. Dude, this is awesome. Oh, so I'm keeping an eye on Claude. I want to be in... Oh, there we go. I'm keeping an eye on Claude there in the background, and I'm hoping that when it's done, it'll pause the game for me. Come on. Excuse me. Yep, I even have boss fights. Could probably work on that boss hit animation. It just flashes white, but hey. For killing time while Claude's thinking, this is pretty fun. Alright, maybe I gave Claude too much to think about. It's also been running slow today. I know Anthropic was down this morning, and I felt like the performance has been pretty slow today. Oh, lost a life. Shield to the rescue. This is fun even without coding. Like, this is... So if you find yourself sitting there waiting for Claude Code to finish something, have it build you a game. Ooh. Oh, I need Claude to finish before I die, so I can see if it pauses the game. Oh, Claude. All right, we gotta start it. You like how I blame Claude for me losing? Ooh, we got the spread shot. Yeah. Dude, that's way better than rapid fire. Spread shot. Woo! Oh, that's awesome. Claude's done. My game paused. I come over. Let's see. Found a couple bugs, it looks like. Alright, I'm going to kick this off. I'm not going to wait for it to go. We get the idea, but I am going to let it fix this. So, yep. Go ahead and fix the issues. Now, that's interesting because what is it? It's going to be changing the files of the game that's playing. So, I don't know if that's going to cause any issues or not. Alright, well, I'm going to stop playing this. I'm going to do something in another window real quick, just again as a test. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But Claude can also see things on my network, and I have Home Assistant set up, so I want to see if it'll control my lights when it's done with something. I'm going to give it a fast test this time. So I'm going to go to a different project. Let's go to dope mode. All right, Claude. I want to set up a hook that when you are done, when you hit the stop event, you flash the lights in my office from whatever their current color is. It should flash green back to the original color, then green back to the original color. So 2 green flashes and then return to the original color, whatever that was previously. You have Home Assistant access via my network, and I've already given you a long-lived access token. So see if you can wire up the hook to the stop event to flash the lights green 2 times. Yep. I'm not sure. So we're going to test this one again just for fun. It just fixed the bugs for the game. Let's see. Write me a song about Space Invaders. I wonder if it's trying to... Oh, damn, that was too fast. I wonder if it's, if it thinks the game is already running. I'm going to try a new session. There we go. So it probably thought it was already running and was trying to do a resume. Let's see what happens. Alright. Here's my song about Space Invaders. Beautiful. That's really funny. So we're going to close that one. I'm done with that for now. And we're going to check on the other guy here. No, I don't know the entity ID. You'll have to find it. You should be able to reach the server and find the lights that are labeled office light, office left, and office right. You got an extra command in there because I misspoke. There we go. So we'll run that, and we're going to see if we can get Claude to give me a light flash when he's done running stuff. That I might actually use. That could be fun. All right, I'm going to create a Home Assistant token. I'm obviously going to do that off camera. Actually, it's still open. Awesome. So I'm going to jump Claude off screen real quick, give him that token, and say, store this. It can be reference in the future. So he's doing that. If I was thinking about this, I probably should have tested Claude being able to control the Home Assistant lights at all before trying to do it as a hook. Because right now, if it doesn't work, I won't know if the hook doesn't work or if it just couldn't perform that task. I've done it through OpenClaw, so I know it can be done over the network, but I've never done it with Claude. So, well, it works. It just made the lights green. So, see if it can change it back to red. That's what I was curious about when I gave Claude the command to say, return to the color that it was originally, because I want to see if it can go back to its previous state and not just back to a predefined color, right? So like, don't go back to white every time, go back to whatever it was. All right, we're bringing Claude back in. Let's see. It's got a token stored. That's awesome. Captures current color and brightness. Okay. Let's see. Did the lights flash for you? They turned green, but never returned the original color. Should that have happened? So let's see. I assumed that turning it green was a test, but it specifically asked if they flashed for me. So it says, yes, it should have restored them. So let's see what we can figure out. All right, it's putting the token in there, whatever. At this point, I'll just have to rotate the key. I think that's going to become a common theme for these videos, is I'm going to show you behind the scenes, and occasionally my tokens are going to be shown. This is also, you'd have to be on my local network, but for security's sake, I'm going to rotate that after this. That actually worked, but then it went green one extra time. I'm pretty sure they were red. I honestly don't remember, but I think they were. And they flashed green 2 times and went back to red, but then it flashed green a 3rd time. So I'm going to restart Claude Code, and I'm going to set the lights back to red and then test this. Hey Google, set the office lights to red. All right, so now we're going to run a Claude command and see what happens when he's done. Here we go, 1, back to red, come on, there we go, 1 more, back to red. I'm going to leave that. That's awesome. That's really fun. So, guys, obviously this gets me pumped up. I love doing stuff like this. If there's anything you want to see, obviously I'm trying to go over some stuff here that's real, like hooks in Claude Code, and trying to make it fun through Space Invaders and flashing the lights. But yeah, if there's ever anything that you guys want to see on the channel, just let me know, and I'm happy to cover it for you. So this one's a little bit longer than the others, so hopefully I was able to keep you entertained. Thanks. Have a good one.